Welcome. This is the first ever video for Jacobson Sports Network, and it's a pleasure because I get to cover one of the funniest things I've gotten to see. So the Arizona Coyotes, my favorite thing in the world other than a blue hedgehog, just had one more plot twist, one more little, let's just turn left when there is no turn. It's a building. I don't know. There was no road there. So the land auction that was originally scheduled for June 27th, literally 6 days away from today as of recording. PHNX Hockey just did their primer. Craig Morgan just released his article giving you all the information you needed. I officially said I was not going to work that day to any future employer. And we get this statement from the Arizona State Land Department. I will read it to you. I will give you the facts first, and then I will very clearly stop and let you know when I'm getting into speculation. So here is the statement. After much consideration, the Arizona State Land Department, ASLD, has determined that it is in the best interest of the trust to cancel the auction and reorder the steps. ASLD recently confirmed that the proposed arena use will require a special use permit, and as a result, we are requesting that the applicant file for and receive a special use permit prior to the auction. This affords the applicant and ASLD certainty that the applicant can build what he intends to build for its anchor tenant. It is not uncommon for ASLD to require applicants to secure zoning use permits prior to auction. If you've been watching PHNX Hockey over the last month or so, it's been active for a month, I think. If you've been watching, if you listen to Craig Morgan's excellent reporting on this, one thing that I notice is that primarily post-sale, a lot of certainties are no longer certain, and this is just yet another uncertainty. And Craig Morgan was reporting and was saying that there's other zoning issues, and as he was saying, now, when asking if it was zoned properly, you need to win the auction first before we can even answer that question. And now the auction is canceled and Alex Meruelo will need to get permits in order to even reschedule a new auction. And I think definitively we understand why Gary Bettman wanted to pull the plug on this, because I'm pretty sure he realized speculation. We're into speculation. That was the fact part. It's the speculation part. I think we all now have more than enough information that has come out since the decision. All of this, Alex Meruelo probably was never going to get this done. Considering what information did come out of the Kate Gallego meeting, we had the statement coming from her office that she supports hockey in Arizona, but does not support tax abatements for Alex Meruelo. And even I had a couple sources give me small tidbits. I get the feeling this isn't going to happen. My personal opinion on this is looking at the actions of everyone involved and how gung-ho everyone was. How, yes, this is going to happen, it's zoned properly, and then Alex makes the sale. He sells the team and the team's gone. Almost instantly, every single thing, oh, wait a minute, we don't quite know yet, hey, you have to win the auction before we can even talk to you about that, and now this, my personal opinion, my speculation, is that politics are politicking, and you know what? Perhaps I was too harsh. I'm not a big politics guy, but perhaps politics are useful for some things, because I don't think Alex Meruelo saw this coming. My opinion. I don't really have anything to go off of. I think this caught him by surprise, and what it comes across to me is that every single different entity that has power to put different bumps and roadblocks in the path are starting to do that. And you know what? Very conveniently was just finalized about a week ago, maybe 5 days ago. The sale and the official 3.5-year timeline to reactivate the franchise. One entity here is officially on a timetable, it's on a time limit, while the other entities can drag it out as long as they want, and we already know that government entities tend to take a long time anyway. But then again, the fact that Alex Meruelo chose the longest possible process out of all the different available options. Craig Morgan did report on PHNX Hockey that I believe it was the Mesa site may have required a referendum to rezone. And obviously one of the things we do know about the agreement between Meruelo and the league was that no referendums. However, there's also a couple other things like the reservation land that 100% can be built on tomorrow, but the problem with that land is Alex Meruelo couldn't build his entertainment district and put housing on it. And then you have the deal that Craig Morgan reported on very briefly on PHNX Coyotes before it deactivated, that there was a potential ASU deal that he walked away from, and no, he was not referring to the one from back in like 2017 involving Bearway. Completely new deal, completely more recent, and Meruelo walked away. I think Craig said it was due to gaming rights. That wouldn't surprise me. However, put an asterisk on that. I'm trying to go with just official sources that have said stuff publicly. So considering every single misstep and the fact that Meruelo chose the longest process, knowing that the state land department was going to be a long process, and they originally went for 200 acres that they could not afford, which then caused a delay in the auction being announced, I think at this point, with all the information that has since come out, we can confirm whenever Javier Gutierrez kept saying over and over again would have something to announce December or January, I think he genuinely meant it, and because the way they chose to go about it, and it caused delays in the process, and now the team is no longer here, in my opinion, it very much looks like everyone that has the ability to throw something in the middle of the road is doing that, and in my personal opinion, Alex Meruelo should just walk away. Alex Meruelo got a very sizable chunk of money. Some of it went to Barraway to buy out his 5% share. Some of it had to go to debts or whatever. Craig Morgan didn't give an exact number, but he does have X amount of money that is just, you have this now. If I were him, instead of continuously jumping through more hoops, I would just walk away. So that way Arizona hockey fans can get an actual ownership group, considering how reportedly, Craig Morgan actually said it on PHNX Hockey today, that there are 2 other groups potentially in the mix, and that's not even counting Matt Ishbia, who reportedly was interested, but not for $1 billion for this Coyotes team. Unverified. I heard some reports on that, but I'm just gonna throw it out there as an unverified, make what you will there. Yeah, no, I think this is actually really good news. Coyotes fans, I saw some of them freaking out. I think this is actually much better news, because anything that makes Meruelo want to walk away is going to mean that the Coyotes can come back sooner, because the only reason Alex Meruelo is technically the fastest option is because he has that 5-year window. 3.5 years where he can essentially do nothing before the NHL says no. Unless, there's a couple other clauses, but it's 3.5 years. The only deadline we know of, 100%, is 3.5 years, December 31st, 2027, to officially initiate the reactivation process, and the building has to be 50% out of the ground. Now, Gary Bettman did say there was some wiggle room. For example, if the building wasn't quite 50%, but you can see the building coming up, that will probably still allow them a little more time. But if there's nothing, and there is no land acquisition, and that 1 year to acquire land was not accurate, I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. We did have confirmation that was inaccurate. Anything that buys Arizona hockey fans more time takes away time from Alex Meruelo, and if we're at 3.5 years and nothing is done, the NHL in all likelihood could cancel the deal, take away the exclusive rights, and start talking with anybody else. And considering how, again, reportedly there are multiple other groups, I would much rather do that, because Meruelo is only the fastest by a technicality. Every other metric, if Meruelo won the land auction a week from now and everything went swimmingly, then technically he's the fastest. Nothing was going to go swimmingly. If Meruelo walks away today, the potential for another ownership group to come in and still build this building and have the team ready in 5 years is still technically there. Might be 5 or 6 years, but I'm just saying Alex Meruelo is only the fastest by a technicality. So that's all we have. There's your update. Probably one of the funniest things, and it's a Friday, so hey, if you want to celebrate, go ahead. I'll drink a little bit of Kool-Aid because I'm not an alcohol guy. But anyway, that is your Coyotes update, because the most Coyotes thing that could have happened did happen.